You're watching FARC Racing on OEN. Your family may have left you, but we'll always be here. Today we'll be bringing you the first three races of the FARC Modifieds, presented by Calvert Ignitions. The first race would be the Lakeland Thriller. At the USA International Raceway in Florida, 79-year-old Jeb Klinger was on pole for the 50-lap Sport Mod race. Klinger, the host of Tailgate Party here on OEN, was overtaken at the start by Leland Rogers, who quickly built up a huge lead in his 665 car. Casey Black and his father Oliver were absolutely terrible. The two of them came together. Casey Black bouncing off the wall off of turn 4, and then he gets T-boned by Dale Underwood, car 26. Casey Black ends up on his roof. In the closing stages of the race, Ralph West charged up into second place. West won a couple of races last season, but it looked like he would not be a match for Leland Rogers tonight. However, Bobby Johnson has a problem. He's slow off of turn number 2, trying to get out of the way, and then he turns right, back into the racing line. Hard into the side of the 97 goes Ross Schneider. Leland Rogers caught up in it. The race leader has crashed on the final lap. So is second place Ralph West. Third place Adam Gonzalez, Riker Haggard, car 17, and Christopher Baldwin, car 66. All of those cars were on the lead lap. Dan Leckleiter running 5th. Smashes into the back of Bobby Johnson. A huge crash on the final lap takes out several of the leaders, but Patrick Carpino in car 200 sneaks by and takes the win in a very bizarre turn of events. But now it's time for the 75-lap Crown Modified race. Michael White on the pole in the number 0. Michael White has driven cars with the number 0 for his whole FARC career, but he would soon be challenged by Alex Carson in the 8. Carson, the Sweeney Sport entry, takes over the lead. Jamie Flock, car number 01, right on his bumper though. And Jamie Flock sneaks by with the race lead. And the Canadian would build up a huge lead over the 8 until Dylan Stevens in car 46 blows up and comes to a stop on the front stretch. Just past the halfway point of the race. And then in the closing stages, Jamie Hartley, car 51, would close in on Jamie Flock. Jamie Hartley has a lot more cornering speed than the 01. However, Flock is able to pull away on the straightaways. Jamie Hartley would not be able to get any closer to Flock, and Jamie Flock takes the checkered flag here in the Lakeland Thriller. Montgomery, Alabama would be the site of the next modified race, as we are here supporting the Regional Cup race. Christopher Baldwin on pole for the Sport Modified race. Patrick Carpino on his outside. Baldwin would soon encounter Casey Black and promptly put him into the wall to draw the first caution of the night. Scary accident for Miranda Leckleiter. David Bloom turned by Leland Rogers. Miranda Leckleiter bouncing in front of Leland Rogers and sent onto her roof. Adam Gonzalez, car 95, caught up as well. Miranda Leckleiter would climb out of that 4 car, but Christopher Baldwin would blow up under caution. This hands the lead over to Dan Leckleiter, and Leckleiter would blow up on the restart. More strange happenings for the Sport Modifieds this week, and appropriately enough, Patrick Carpino is the beneficiary, and he holds off Ralph West to take his second consecutive victory. On pole for the Crown Modified race would be Giuseppe Focusato, car 22. The father of FARC Truck Series driver Vincenzo Focusato gets off to a great start over Alex Carson in the 8. However, as he encountered lap traffic, Ray Lawler would close in on the 22, and despite a bit of contact with the lapped car of Bobby Porteau, Lawler hangs on and he will take over the lead. However, there would be a caution as Michael White crashes into the back of Summer Marchetti, who was slowing down on the track. They're right in the racing line, and several cars pile in. Here comes the race leader. Ray Lawler is in it. Giuseppe Focusato, and it wouldn't be over. Looking at Jeff Wilkins, Bobby Porteau, Randy Robinson, and Dylan Stevens are involved as well. Ray Lawler's significant damage on that 26 car, but he keeps the lead and refuses to pit. But that was not a good idea, as he is getting swarmed on this restart. Jeff Wilkins takes over the lead in that 44 car. Jamie Hartley, the only other car on the lead lap now, is right behind Lawler, and he's going to be all over him. But Jeff Wilkins pits with just a few laps to go. Problems on that 44 car. This hands the lead over to Jamie Hartley. Hartley takes the win. The Crown Modifieds now catching the bizarre finish bug, But now we head over to Wall Township Speedway in New Jersey. Patrick Carpino on the pole for the sport race, but Casey Campbell gets around the 200, and now she starts to open up her lead, but Carpino has a problem and has to pit that car. He will not be going for 3 in a row today. Dale Underwood, scary crash for the 26. He's embedded in the wall in turn 4. Fortunately, he would be okay, but it would be Casey Campbell cruising to the win for Michael White's team. Speaking of Michael White, he earns his 2nd pole of the season, leading the field to the green in the Crown race. Alex Carson starting on the outside pole for the 2nd time in a row as Michael White gets away. A crash between Jenny Lamar and Randy Robinson puts Lamar hard into the wall, but Michael White continues to dominate until he gets held up by his teammate Justin Parker. Alex Carson sees an opportunity and gets by the 0 for the race lead, and Justin Parker, being the best teammate ever, immediately lets Alex Carson go. Michael White's got to be fuming inside that 0 car as Alex Carson now leads Jamie Flock 3rd. But Dylan Stevens is going to get into the back of the 8 car, both those cars onto the apron. Dylan shoots back up into Melanie Menendez. Alex Carson very lucky to escape from that. He maintains the lead, but this race is now going to go to a green-white checkered. 7 cars on hand to take the restart. Carson leads. Flock moves up into 2nd as Michael White starts to lose positions. Now he loses 3rd to Charlotte Elliott in the 38B. Carson rounding turn 4 to take the white flag. Jamie Flock has got nothing for him at the moment as Michael White continues to lose positions. Alex Carson now into the final corners, and Carson takes the win. And here are the Crown Modified point standings after 3 races. Jamie Hartley, 10 points over Jamie Flock, Alex Carson, Ashley Elliott, Ray Lawler, Jeff Wilkins, Giuseppe Focusato, Michael White, Joe Hatcher, and Jenny Lamar. Now let's look at the Sport Mod standings. Patrick Carpino with 2 consecutive victories leads by 30 points over Casey Campbell. Then it's Ralph West, Ryan Baldwell, Robert Leckleiter, Jeb Klinger, Riker Haggard, and Frank Zarro tied for 7th. Leland Rogers and Clay Cooper rounds out the top 10.